Hello and welcome to the latest video interview for DECT Today, which is the online publication for the DECT Forum and the DECT Forum's members. This time we're talking to 𝗂𝗃𝗧𝗧𝗧, who is chair of ETSI's technical committee for DECT. Working with both the DECT Forum and ITUR, the DECT technical committee's activities in recent years have been primarily focused on development of DECT 2020NR, that's new radio, the system we now know as DECT NR+. Guenter, you've been working with DECT for a long time. Tell us how you first got involved and when you first joined TC DECT, what motivated you to take on the role of chairman?
Yeah, it's a very long story, Vince. I joined Siemens actually in 1983, and at that time Siemens in Vienna was responsible for the development of cordless phones. And in the 80s, of course, it was an analog system.
Yes.
And then in the mid-80s, I started a first study about the next generation of cordless phones. And of course, we will move from analog to digital. And so this started about 86 inside Siemens. And there were standardization activities, and I joined those. And at that time, ETSI did not yet exist. It was an industry group called ECTEL, Task Group Cordless Services. And we started to work on digital cordless phone specifications. And then in 88, ETSI was founded. And 89, all the DECT standardization activities were then transferred to ETSI. And at that time, also a project team was founded in ETSI to help the development of the standard. And I was the leader of the project team, which was PT10.
Okay.
And we worked from 89 to 92 and developed the first set of DECT specifications. And yeah, that was the start of the DECT standard, and published 92, and then soon we saw the first products.
Well, looking at, oh, sorry, I'm interrupting you, carry on.
No, just then the next few steps, I was then chairing the ISDN group and the networking group. Mm-hmm. And then 97, Peter Olanders stepped down as chair of ETSI project. It was at that time not the TC, but the project. And there were two candidates. And in the end, I won this election. So, and since 97, I continued as chair of this group, and we developed a lot of specifications in these many years, and also successful specifications.
Well, indeed. Looking at the long history of what we call the classic DECT standard, what would you say have been the highlights and perhaps even the lowlights as well?
Yeah, I think the highlights definitely the recognition by ITU. So we were approved as family member of IMT 2000 in the year 2000. And then again, we applied for membership of IMT 2020. And in the end, we made it, and we were approved with the new DECT standard, so the DECT 2020 standard, which is a new version, completely new version of DECT, then as member of IMT 2020. So these are probably the biggest milestones of the DECT development. Maybe one issue which did not run so well was then the public service with DECT. So there was a big installation in Italy in the 90s, so-called the FIDO system, and we worked on cordless terminal mobility standards. But in the end, this was not a success. So maybe we had some good installations in Italy. We served a lot of towns in Italy with DECT, but in the end, the public mobile phone took over. And yeah, that's now a business for public mobile phones and not for DECT.
I guess you can't win them all, can you?
Yeah, but we're still in the private sector. We are the number one.
Absolutely. So there's still enhancements being made to classic DECT. How would you see the standard evolving in the future?
Yeah, we have still the traditional DECT. It's extremely efficient and also very power efficient and low cost. So you can do a lot with the existing DECT, and we're still improving on the efficiency. We are adding new voice codec, so we are constantly improving. And we're even studying now the development of a new physical layer for the traditional DECT, but that's brand new and that's not yet finalized. So it's really started just this year. And so there may be quite a lot new coming up with the traditional DECT.
Exciting. Well, a lot of work's been done in TC DECT on the new NR+ standard in the past several years now. What are your expectations for this new DECT standard?
Yeah, I think we will start at the high end with the new DECT standard and not at the low end. It has enormous potential. So the physical layer is really good, very efficient. And the new feature with the multi-hop, so we can do mesh now, real mesh. So in traditional DECT, we could just do extension by maybe 1 or 2 hops. But now we can build a complete network with this mesh specification, and that's completely new. And of course, the physical layer with its features, with the hybrid IRQ, and that was already demonstrated to work very well. We are extremely efficient with the new standard, also in very complicated and different situations. So if we have multipass and such situations, the new standard will be excellent.
Well, the main focus, or the initial focus anyway, for NR+ is large-scale IoT applications. Which other application areas do you expect NR+ will address in the future?
Yeah, I think IoT will be anyhow the first products which are coming now on the market. And there's also big interest in the low latency, high quality applications for audio and video, and especially also in professional video applications and audio applications. And I think that will be the other big application area for the NR+ in the next few years. And probably more to come, but these are the two main areas at the moment.
Okay. Well, in talks with members, the subject of coexistence between classic DECT and NR+ does come up. I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this topic was really carefully studied, the coexistence between the traditional DECT and the new NR+ DECT. We also had a separate task group to investigate that. And finally, I think we resolved it. So we have now in the new standard, we have a, let's say, DECT detection mode. So we see if there's a transmission with 10 milliseconds period, which is typical for DECT transmission, then it's detected, and these transmissions are then avoided. So it's similar as in the traditional DECT. We have the same mechanism built in now in the new system. So the coexistence is basically the same as between two old systems. So old systems will detect each other and avoid, and also the new system, if this DECT mode is switched on, it will do the same. So it's not necessary if the new system operates in other bands, which are not used by traditional systems, but if those two systems share the same band, then we have the same protection as in traditional DECT. So I see no issue anymore after this additions to the new standard.
Sounds like the same level of thought has gone into this as everything that's gone before. That's really good to hear. Well, ETSI DECT and the DECT Forum have worked closely together for many years now. In your opinion, what can the DECT Forum do to speed up market acceptance of NR+?
I think the cooperation has improved a lot during the last few years. And now we have excellent cooperation, and I think DECT Forum should just continue what they have started now to promote the NR+ by giving conferences, doing publications, holding webinars. And so there are a lot of good activities which are now done in cooperation with TC DECT. And I think they just have to continue this way, which they have started. So it should be good.
Yeah, well, personally, I think this is an incredibly exciting time for the DECT Forum and the companies involved. And thanks so much for all the very hard work you've done over the years, Guenter, and thank you for your time today. And perhaps we'll come back to you again in a little while and talk about how things are developing again. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Vince. Pleasure for me. And anytime I will be available if there are more questions are coming up. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.